Admiral Kang Dae-ho stood on the bridge of his massive warship. He looked at the stars through the giant window. His ship was one of thousands in the Galactic Dominion fleet. They had ruled the galaxy for over 10,000 years. No one had ever stopped them. "Admiral," said his second officer, "we found something strange." Kang turned around. "What is it?" "A small star system on the outer edge. Our scouts tried to go in, but something pushed them back." Kang laughed. "Pushed them back? What kind of primitive world can push back our ships?" Dr. Park Yoon-ji walked onto the bridge. She was the ship's scientist. She looked worried. "Admiral, I need to show you something." She pressed buttons on her computer. A hologram appeared in the air. It showed a yellow star with several planets around it. One planet was blue and green. "This is the Sol system," Park said. "The third planet has life. They call themselves humans." "Humans?" Kang said. "Never heard of them. Are they part of the Dominion?" "No, sir, that's the problem. They refuse to join us, and look at this." Park pressed more buttons. Strange energy readings appeared on the screen. The numbers were very high. "These energy readings don't make sense," Park said. "No primitive world should have this much power." Kang waved his hand. "Your machines are broken. Fix them." "Sir, I checked 3 times. The readings are real." One of the bridge officers spoke up. "Admiral, we found something else. Old warning signals near their space." "Warning signals?" "Yes, sir, very old ones. They say Terran space is prohibited. Approach means death." Kang laughed again. "Death? From these humans? How many ships do they have?" "We don't know, sir. Our scouts can't get close enough to count." "Can't get close. Send more scouts." "We tried, sir. We sent 50 ships. None came back." This made Kang stop laughing. 50 ships was a lot to lose, but he was still not worried. The Dominion had millions of ships. Park spoke again. "Admiral, I think we should be careful. These readings show technology we don't understand." "Impossible," Kang said. "We have the best technology in the galaxy. We conquered 40,000 star systems. No one can match us." "But sir, what if these humans are different?" Kang got angry. "Different? They live on one small planet. We control half the galaxy. There is no difference." Captain Lee Boram sat in the command center on Earth. She watched the alien ships on her screens. They were far away, but her sensors could see them clearly. "How many ships do they have?" she asked. "About 500,000, Captain," her officer said. 500,000, Lee repeated. "That's a big fleet. Should we contact Admiral Song?" "Yes. Tell him the aliens are getting ready to attack." Lee had been waiting for this day her whole life. Earth had been preparing for alien invasion for 200 years. They knew someone would come eventually. Her screen showed a message from Earth Command. "All defense systems ready. Protocol 7 is active." Lee smiled. The aliens had no idea what was waiting for them. Back on the Dominion ship, Kang was talking to his commanders. "The Council wants these humans to join the Dominion," he said. "If they refuse, we destroy them." "What about the warning signals?" asked one commander. "Forget the warnings. Some dead aliens probably left them long ago. They mean nothing." Dr. Park was still worried. "Admiral, I studied the signals more. They're not that old. Maybe 200 years. 200 years is still old," Kang said. "The humans probably made them to scare people away." "But why would they do that?" "Because they're hiding something. Probably gold or rare metals. We'll take everything they have." Park looked at her computer again. The energy readings were getting stronger. "Sir, the energy around their system is growing." "Good. It means they're scared. Scared enemies make mistakes, but Park didn't think the humans were scared. The energy patterns looked like weapon charging systems. But she had never seen weapons this big before. Commander Yoon Jae-sung was in a meeting room on Earth. Around the table sat the most important people in the human government. "The alien fleet is 3 days away," Yoon said. "They have 500,000 ships. Can we stop them?" asked General Kim Tae-woo. "We've been preparing for this for centuries. Our systems are ready." Ambassador Choi Hee-jin spoke next. "Should we try talking to them first?" We can try, Yoon said. But if they're like the other galactic empires we studied, they only understand strength. What about our secret weapons? Asked the general. Everything is ready. Jupiter Station, Saturn Defense Grid, the solar collectors, and the asteroid network. If they want to fight, we'll give them one they'll never forget. The meeting ended. Each person went to prepare their part of Earth's defense. On the Dominion flagship, Admiral Kang received a message from Earth. Admiral, said his communication officer, the humans want to talk. Put them on screen. A human woman appeared on the screen. She had kind eyes but spoke firmly. I am Ambassador Choi Hyejin of Earth. We know you're coming to our system. We want peace between our peoples. Kang stood up. I am Admiral Kang of the Galactic Dominion. You will surrender your world and join our empire. This is not a choice. We cannot do that, Choi said, but we can offer trade and friendship. Trade? Kang laughed. What can you offer us? You live on one small world. We offer knowledge and cooperation. Please don't force us to defend ourselves. Defend yourselves? Kang's voice got loud. With what? You have no fleet, no weapons, nothing. Choi's face became serious. Admiral, you were warned to stay away from our space. Those warnings were real. Please turn back. Never. You have 1 day to surrender. If you don't, we will take your world by force. The screen went dark. Kang turned to his officers. Prepare the fleet for attack. Tomorrow we add another world, to the Dominion. But Dr. Park was looking at her sensors. The energy readings around Earth were now higher than anything she had ever seen. Something very big was about to happen, and she was starting to think Admiral Kang had made a terrible mistake. The Dominion fleet moved closer to Earth's solar system. Admiral Kang felt confident. In all his years of conquest, no world had ever won against the Dominion. This small blue planet would be no different. Commander Yoon Jae-sung walked through the underground command center on Earth. The room was huge, filled with computers and screens showing the alien fleet. Hundreds of people worked at their stations. Status report, Yoon said to his officer. All defense systems are online, Commander. The aliens will reach the edge of our system in 6 hours. Good. Are our messages still being sent? Yes, sir. Ambassador Choi has tried to contact them 12 times. They keep refusing to talk. Yoon nodded. Humans had hoped for peace, but they were ready for war. Ambassador Choi Hyejin sat in her office, trying one more time to reach the alien commander. The screen showed Admiral Kang's angry face. This is your last chance, Choi said. We don't want to fight, but we will defend our home. Kang laughed. Defend with what? We have 500,000 ships. You have nothing. We have more than you think, Choi said quietly. Show me your fleet then. Where are your warships? Choi was silent for a moment. You will see them soon enough if you don't turn back. I'm tired of your games, Kang said. You have 1 hour to surrender. After that, we attack. The screen went dark again. Choi picked up her phone and called Commander Yoon. Yoon, they won't listen. 1 hour until they attack. Understood, Yoon said. Activating Protocol 7 now. All across the solar system, things began to change. On Mars, huge doors opened in the ground. Giant ships rose from hidden underground bases. They had been built inside the planet over many years. Around Jupiter, what looked like empty space started to glow. Massive structures became visible. They had been hidden by advanced technology. Saturn's rings began to move in strange patterns. What looked like ice and rock was actually millions of small weapons platforms. In the asteroid belt, rocks started to unfold like flowers. Inside each one were cannons and missiles. There were thousands of them. General Kim Tae-woo stood in the war room watching all of this happen. How long have we been building all of this? Asked a young officer. 200 years, Kim said. Ever since we first detected alien signals from space, we knew they would come eventually. Why didn't other worlds prepare like us? Because other worlds waited until it was too late. We started preparing the day we learned we weren't alone. Dr. Park Yoon-ji stared at her instruments on the Dominion flagship. The energy readings were now impossible to ignore. "Admiral," she called, "you need to see this." Kang walked over, annoyed. "What now?" "The energy signatures around their system. They're enormous, bigger than our entire fleet." "That's impossible." "Sir, I'm reading weapon systems the size of moons, and they're all charging up." Kang looked. At the numbers, even he could see they were very high, but he refused to believe it. "Your instruments are wrong. No primitive world has weapons that big." "Admiral, what if they're not primitive?" Before Kang could answer, alarms began ringing on the bridge. "Admiral," shouted the sensor officer, "ships are appearing around the human system." "How many ships?" "I don't know, sir. They're everywhere. Thousands of them. Maybe tens of thousands." On the main screen, they could see the human fleet becoming visible. The ships were sleek and black, unlike anything the Dominion had ever seen. Captain Lim Soo-jin sat in the cockpit of her fighter ship. Around her, 1,000 other fighters waited for orders. They were hidden inside what looked like an asteroid, but was actually a massive carrier. "Prometheus Squadron, this is Base Command. The aliens have reached our outer markers. Prepare for launch." "Understood, Base," Lim said. She had trained for this moment her whole life. Her ship was fast and powerful, built with technology the aliens had never seen. Fleet Admiral Kwon Ji-hoon stood on the bridge of the hidden Earth battleship, Defiance. The ship was inside the moon, which was actually hollow and had been converted into a fortress. "Admiral," his officer said, "the alien fleet has stopped moving. They seem confused." "Good. They're starting to realize they made a mistake." "Should we contact them?" "Let them think about what they're seeing. Fear makes better teachers than words." On the Dominion flagship, panic was starting to spread. The humans had revealed a fleet larger than anyone expected. "How did we miss all of this?" Kang shouted. Dr. Park was working frantically at her computer. "Sir, I'm detecting some kind of stealth technology. They were hiding their ships and weapons." "For how long?" "Based on these readings, decades, maybe centuries." Kang felt fear for the first time in years, but he was too proud to retreat. "So, what if they have more ships than we thought? We still outnumber them." "Sir," said his weapons officer, "I'm not sure we do." More and more human ships kept appearing. They came from behind planets, from inside asteroids, from what looked like empty space. Commander Yoon watched the alien fleet on his screen. They had stopped advancing and were talking among themselves. "Think they're having second thoughts?" asked an officer. "Probably. But it might be too late for second thoughts." Yoon pressed a button. His voice went out to every ship in the human fleet. "Attention all units. The aliens have been given every chance to leave peacefully. If they advance any further into our system, we will consider it an act of war. All weapon systems, stand by." Around the solar system, massive weapons came online. Jupiter's great red spot began to glow as the planet-sized cannon inside it charged up. The sun's corona flickered as solar collection arrays focused its energy into weapon batteries. Dr. Han Min-soo stood in his laboratory deep under the Earth's surface. His computer showed him the status of every weapon system humanity had built. "The solar flare protocol is ready," he reported to command. "We can turn our star into a weapon if needed." "Let's hope it doesn't come to that," came the reply. But Dr. Han knew it probably would. The aliens had come too far to turn back now, and humans had prepared too long to let their world be conquered. Admiral Kang stared at the tactical display. What had seemed like an easy victory now looked like the hardest battle of his life. "Sir," said Dr. Park quietly, "maybe we should reconsider this attack." "Never," Kang said. "The Dominion does not retreat." "But sir, if we attack and lose, we could lose everything." "We won't lose. We can't lose. We're the Galactic Dominion." Dr. Park looked at her readings one more time. The humans had enough firepower to destroy a dozen fleets like theirs, but Admiral Kang couldn't see past his own pride. The two fleets faced each other across the darkness of space. One side was proud and experienced, but overconfident. The other side was patient and prepared, hoping for peace but ready for total war. Soon the galaxy would learn which approach was stronger. Admiral Kang made his decision. He would not retreat. The Galactic Dominion had never backed down from a fight, and he would not be the first admiral to run away. All ships, prepare to attack, he commanded. We go in fast and hard. Hit their biggest ships first. Dr. Park looked at him with worry. Admiral, please reconsider. The energy readings suggest they have weapons we don't understand. Enough, Kang shouted. We attack in 10 minutes. The Dominion fleet began moving forward. 500,000 ships advanced toward the human solar system, their weapons charged and their shields activated. On Earth, Commander Yoon watched the alien fleet approach. He felt sad that it had come to this, but he was ready. All stations, this is command. The aliens are attacking. Defend our home. Captain Lim Soo-jin felt her fighter ship launch from the hidden asteroid base. Around her, thousands of other fighters shot into space. But these weren't ordinary fighters. They moved faster than anything the aliens had ever seen. Prometheus Squadron, target the alien command ships, came the order. Let's show them what human engineering can do. Lim's ship accelerated. In seconds, she was moving faster than light itself, jumping from place to place instantly. The aliens had never seen technology like this. Fleet Admiral Kwon Ji-hoon stood on his battleship as it emerged from inside the moon. The moon split open like a giant egg, revealing the massive warship hidden inside. All weapons target the center of their fleet, Kwon ordered. Fire when ready. The first shot came from Jupiter. The great red spot, which had been a storm for centuries, was actually a massive cannon. It fired a beam of energy that could destroy an entire planet. The beam hit the center of the Dominion fleet. In 1 second, 1,000 alien ships simply disappeared. What was that? Admiral Kang screamed as his ship shook from the blast. It came from Jupiter, sir, his officer reported. The gas giant itself is a weapon. Before Kang could respond, Saturn's rings began firing. Millions of small platforms launched missiles and energy beams. They looked like tiny lights, but each one could destroy a battleship. Dr. Park watched in horror as their fleet was torn apart. Admiral, we need to retreat. Now. Never. All ships, return fire. The Dominion ships fired back with everything they had. But their weapons couldn't reach the human defenses. The distances were too great and the human shields were too strong. Captain Lim dove her fighter between the alien ships. Her weapons were small but incredibly precise. She could hit a Pisces target the size of a coin from 1,000 miles away. This is Prometheus leader, she said over the radio. Their shields can't stop our new weapons. All fighters attack freely. The human fighters swarmed through the alien fleet like angry bees. Each fighter could destroy ships 100 times its size. Dr. Han Min-soo watched from his underground laboratory as his weapons performed perfectly. Every system he had designed over the past 50 years was working exactly as planned. Solar flare protocol is ready to activate, he reported to command. Should I turn the sun into a weapon? Not yet, came the reply. Save that for if they call for reinforcements. In the asteroid belt, rocks began transforming into war machines. Engineer Bae Soo-young had spent decades designing these. Each asteroid contained a complete weapons platform that could think for itself. Asteroid defense. Grid is active, she reported. 10,000 platforms online and firing. The asteroids didn't just shoot at the aliens, they began moving toward the enemy ships and exploding like massive bombs. Each explosion could destroy dozens of alien vessels. Admiral Kang watched his fleet being destroyed piece by piece. In just 1 hour, he had lost 50,000 ships. The humans had lost nothing. How is this possible? He asked Dr. Park. Sir, I think we made a terrible mistake. These humans aren't primitive at all. They're more advanced than us. That's impossible. Look at the evidence, sir. Their weapons, their shields, their ships. They're all better than ours. On Mars, General Kim Tae-woo launched the secret Dreadnought fleet. These ships had been built inside the planet's core, using the planet's own metal and energy. Mars fleet launching, he reported. 30 dreadnoughts heading to intercept the aliens. Each Mars dreadnought was the size of a small moon. They moved slowly, but carried enough firepower to destroy entire star systems. The Dominion fleet tried to fight back, but nothing worked. Their weapons bounced off human shields. Their fastest ships were slower than human fighters. Their strongest armor couldn't stop human weapons. Captain Zhang Wanho commanded a stealth ship that could become invisible. While the battle raged, he slipped behind the alien fleet and began attacking their supply ships. "This is Shadow Wing," he reported. "Their supply lines are cut. They can't get reinforcements or repairs." The aliens were trapped. In front of them were the human defenses. Behind them were human stealth ships. Around them were human fighters that could appear and disappear at will. Dr. Park continued to study her instruments as the battle turned into a disaster. "Admiral, we've lost 70% of our fleet. We have to retreat." "The Dominion doesn't retreat," Kang shouted, but his voice was shaking. "Sir, if we stay, we'll lose everything." Admiral Kang finally looked at the tactical display. His magnificent fleet was being destroyed. Ships that had conquered thousands of worlds were burning in space. Fleet Admiral Quan watched the battle from his command ship. The aliens were fighting bravely, but they were completely outmatched. "Should we offer them surrender terms?" his officer asked. "They had their chance for peace," Quan replied. "They chose war instead." The Earth itself began to reveal its secrets. The blue and green planet that looked so peaceful was actually covered in weapons. Entire continents opened, up to show massive cannons pointing at space. "Planetary Defense Grid online," reported the Earth Command Center. "All continental platforms ready to fire." But they didn't need to fire. The space battle was already over. In just 4 hours, the mighty Dominion fleet was reduced to burning wreckage. Of the 500,000 ships that had attacked, less than 50,000 remained. And those were trying desperately to escape. Admiral Kang sat in his command chair, staring at the ruins of his fleet. Everything he had believed about human weakness was wrong. Everything he thought he knew about galactic warfare was useless. "Sir," Dr. Park said quietly, "I'm reading something else. Energy signatures from deep space." "What now?" "More human ships, sir, coming from other star systems." Kang felt his heart sink. The humans hadn't even used their full strength yet. Commander Yoon received reports from all across the solar system. The alien invasion was broken. The enemy fleet was retreating. "Should we pursue them?" asked an officer. Yoon thought for a moment. "Let some of them escape. They need to go home and tell others what happened here." "Why, sir?" "So that other alien empires will know the truth. Terran space is prohibited. And now they know why." As the surviving Dominion ships fled into deep space, they carried with them a terrible truth. The humans were not the primitive species they appeared to be. They were something much more dangerous. And the galaxy was about to learn just how dangerous Earth could be. The surviving Dominion ships fled through space, but they were not alone. Unknown to Admiral Kang, human ships had been following them for weeks. Captain Zhang Wanho's stealth vessels had been watching the alien empire long before the battle began. "Command, this is Shadow Fleet," Zhang reported from deep space. "We've mapped the entire Dominion territory. We know where their worlds are, their fleets, their weaknesses." Commander Yoon sat in the Earth Command Center, studying star maps that showed the Dominion Empire. Red dots marked their military bases. Blue dots showed their home worlds. Green dots indicated their resource planets. "How long have we been watching them?" asked an officer. 200 years, Yoon replied. "Since we first detected their radio signals, we've been sending spy ships to study them." Colonel Oh Seung-hyun was already deep inside Dominion space. When the news of the battle reached him, he commanded a team of human agents who had been living on alien worlds for decades, pretending to be different species. "All teams, this is Ghost Leader," he transmitted on a secret frequency. "The war has begun. Activate all sabotage protocols." Across 50 different worlds, human agents began their work. Power plants exploded. Communication networks went down. Military bases lost their weapon systems. The Dominion had been infiltrated, so completely that humans could paralyze their entire empire from within. Engineer Bae Soo-young watched her greatest creation spread across the galaxy. The Terran swarm was millions of tiny machines, each one smaller than a grain of sand. But together they could consume entire spaceships and turn them into more machines. Swarm deployment successful, she reported. They're eating the alien fleet wreckage and making copies of themselves. The swarm machines were programmed to only attack enemy ships and weapons. But once they started feeding, they grew exponentially. One machine became 2, 2 became 4, 4 became 8. Soon there would be billions of them. Admiral Kang limped back to Dominion space with what remained of his fleet. Only 40,000 ships had survived out of 500,000. His proud armada was now a collection of damaged, frightened vessels. "Admiral," Dr. Park said as they approached their home base. "Something's wrong." "What now?" "The base isn't responding to our signals. And look at the screen." Their military base was dark. No lights, no ships moving, no sign of life. As they got closer, they saw that all the weapons platforms were destroyed. "How is this possible?" Kang asked. "We left this base heavily defended. Sir, I'm detecting traces of unknown technology. Something attacked here while we were away." "What, Admiral?" Kang didn't know was that Colonel O's teams had been sabotaging Dominion bases for months. They had been waiting for the invasion fleet to leave so they could strike. President Ryu In-suk sat in her office on Earth, reading reports from across the galaxy. Human agents were reporting the same thing everywhere. The Dominion Empire was falling apart. "Ma'am," her aide said, "we're receiving surrender offers from 12 different alien worlds." "Already?" "Yes, ma'am. They're asking for protection from the Dominion military. They want to join us instead." President Ryu had expected this. Throughout history, empires that conquered through fear usually collapsed quickly when their military power was broken. Admiral Song Kyung-min commanded the first human fleet to leave the solar system in centuries. His orders were simple: accept surrenders from any world that wanted protection and destroy any world that tried to fight. "Admiral," his communications officer reported, "we're being contacted by the Zellan Republic. They want to discuss alliance terms." Song smiled. The Zellans had been conquered by the Dominion 50 years ago. Now they wanted freedom, and they were willing to help humans get it for them. Back in Dominion space, panic was spreading. Admiral Kang tried to contact the Dominion Council, but the communication networks were down. Colonel O's sabotage teams had cut the Empire's ability to talk to itself. "Sir," Dr. Park said urgently, "long-range sensors show human fleets approaching from multiple directions." "How many?" "Hundreds of ships, sir. Maybe thousands." Kang felt despair settle in his chest. "Where did they all come from?" "I think they've been out there all along, sir. Hidden. Watching us." Captain Lim Soo-jin led a squadron of fighters on a patrol around Jupiter. Her job was to hunt down any alien ships that might still be hiding in the outer solar system. "Prometheus Squadron, I'm detecting 3 alien scout ships near Neptune," she reported. "Orders, Captain. Disable and capture. We need prisoners for questioning." The human fighters easily caught the alien scouts. The aliens tried to run, but human ships were too fast. They tried to hide, but human sensors were too good. They tried to fight, but human weapons were too powerful. Dr. An Young-hee was an archaeologist who studied old alien ruins. But during the war, she had a special job. She was analyzing the ancient warning signals that had been found near human space. "Commander Yoon," she called from her laboratory. "I've discovered something important about those warnings." "What did you find?" "The language isn't alien. It's human." Yoon stopped what he was doing. "That's impossible. The warnings are thousands." "Of years old?" "No, sir. Only about 200 years old. And the language is an old form of Korean and English." "You're saying humans left those warnings?" "Yes, sir. Which means we've been in space much longer than we thought." This discovery changed everything. If humans had been in space for thousands of years, then maybe Earth wasn't their first home. Maybe they had done this before. Engineer Bay watched her swarm machines work. They had consumed the wreckage from the space battle and created billions of copies of themselves. Now they were spreading across the galaxy, eating any Dominion military equipment they found. "The swarm has reached 17, Star systems, she reported. Every Dominion weapons platform and warship in those systems has been consumed. The machines were smart. They could tell the difference between military and civilian targets. They only ate weapons and warships, leaving the alien civilians alone. Colonel O received new orders from Earth Command. All sabotage teams, prepare for Phase 2 operations. Phase 2 meant moving from sabotage to conquest. His teams would help human fleets take control of key Dominion worlds. Understood, Command. We're ready. O had been preparing for this moment for 20 years. His agents had learned the alien languages, studied their cultures, and mapped their defenses. When the human fleets arrived, they would know exactly what to do. Admiral Song's fleet reached the first major Dominion world. Before he could attack, he received a transmission from the planet. Human fleet, this is Governor Wellmar of Keelan Prime. We wish to surrender and request your protection. Song was surprised. You're giving up without a fight? We have seen what happened to your invasion fleet. We are not fools. We would rather live under human rule than die under Dominion rule. What about the Dominion garrison on your world? They fled yesterday when they heard you were coming. This pattern repeated across the galaxy. As soon as human fleets appeared, Dominion forces either ran away or surrendered. The alien civilians welcomed the humans as liberators. Admiral Kang tried one last desperate attack. He gathered the surviving ships from several fleets and tried to retake one of the fallen worlds. But when he arrived, he found human defenses already in place. The humans had turned the planet into a fortress just like they had done with Earth. Sir, Dr. Park said sadly, we can't win this war. The Dominion never loses. Sir, the Dominion is gone. Look around you. We've lost everything. Kang finally accepted the truth. His mighty empire was finished. The humans had destroyed it in just a few weeks. President Ryu addressed the galaxy from Earth. Her message was broadcast to every world, every ship, every species. People of the galaxy, she said, the Galactic Dominion is no more. Any world that wishes peace will have it. Any world that wishes freedom will have it. But any world that threatens humanity or our allies will face the same fate as the Dominion fleet. We do not wish to rule you. We only wish to be left alone. But if you force us to fight, you will learn why Terran space was prohibited. The galaxy listened and learned. Humanity was not a species to be conquered, they were a species that did the conquering. 6 months after the Great Battle, the galaxy was a different place. The Galactic Dominion was gone, broken into hundreds of small governments. Some begged humans for protection. Others tried to hide from them. A few foolishly tried to fight. President Ryu In-suk stood before the new Galactic Council on Earth. Representatives from 300 worlds sat in the Great Assembly Hall. They had come to hear humanity's terms for the new order. People of the galaxy, she began. We did not ask for this war. We warned your empire to stay away. But since you forced this conflict upon us, we must now discuss the future. A delegate from the Andorian Republic stood up. President Ryu, what does humanity want from us? Simple, Ryu replied. Peace. Trade if you wish it. But most importantly, respect for the boundaries we set. Admiral Song Kyung-min commanded the largest human fleet ever assembled. 5,000 ships explored the galaxy, mapping new worlds and establishing human colonies. Everywhere they went, alien species either welcomed them or fled. Admiral, his science officer reported, we've discovered something on the planet Xerion 4. What kind of something? Ruins, sir, very old ones, and the symbols on them match the ones Dr. An found in our own system. Song studied the images on his screen. The ruins looked human, but they were clearly thousands of years old. Send a full archaeological team, he ordered. I want to know who built these. Dr. An Young-hee was already on another world, studying similar ruins. What she had discovered was changing everything humans thought they knew about their own history. Commander Yoon, she transmitted to Earth. I found the truth about the warnings. What truth? We've been here before. Thousands of years ago, humans controlled this entire galaxy. Then something happened and we withdrew to Earth. That's impossible, Dr. An. The evidence is everywhere, sir. On 40 different worlds I found human ruins. Libraries, star charts, warning beacons, all left by our ancestors. This discovery explained everything. Why human technology was so advanced. Why Earth had been so well defended. Why the warnings about Terran space were real. Humanity hadn't been hiding from the galaxy. They had been, waiting for it to grow up. Colonel Oh Seung-hyun now served as Earth's ambassador to the former Dominion worlds. His job was to help them adjust to freedom while making sure they didn't cause trouble. Colonel, his aide said, the Vegan Collective is asking permission to build a trade station near Earth. Denied, Oh replied immediately. No alien military. Installations within 50 light-years of Earth, that's the rule. They say it's for trade only. Then they can build it somewhere else. Oh had spent too many years studying alien cultures to trust them completely. Some species were genuinely peaceful, but others were just waiting for another chance to attack humanity. Engineer Bae Soo-young watched her swarm machines continue their work across the galaxy. They had consumed every Dominion military installation and turned the materials into human equipment. The swarm has completed its mission, she reported to President Ryu. All hostile military technology in 300 systems has been neutralized. Excellent. Begin Phase 2. Phase 2 was construction. The same machines that had destroyed the Dominion fleet were now building human bases across the galaxy. Shipyards, research stations, defense platforms. Humanity was making sure that no future invasion would be possible. Captain Lim Soo-jin now commanded an entire fighter wing based on a station near the Galactic Center. Her job was to patrol the most dangerous regions of space and deal with any threats to human interests. Captain, her wing commander reported. Long-range sensors detect a large fleet moving toward human space. Identify. Unknown species, sir, about 2,000 ships. They appear to be heavily armed. Lim smiled grimly. Some people never learn. All fighters prepare for launch. But when the unknown fleet reached the edge of human space, they didn't attack. Instead, they sent a message. Human ships, this is Admiral Takvor of the Hegemony. We come seeking alliance against a common enemy. What enemy? Lim asked. The Devourers from the void between galaxies. They're coming and they consume everything in their path. This was news that had to reach Earth immediately. Lim sent the alien admiral's message to President Ryu while keeping her fighters ready for battle. Dr. An made another discovery on a world near the galactic edge. This time she found not just human ruins but human records, ancient computer files that told the story of what had happened long ago. President Ryu, she transmitted from the dig site. I know why our ancestors left the galaxy. Tell me. They were fighting something called the Devourers, creatures from dark space that consume entire worlds. Our ancestors drove them back, but the cost was terrible. Most of human space was destroyed, so they withdrew to Earth? Not withdrew. Retreated to prepare. They knew the Devourers would return someday, and they wanted to make sure humanity was ready. President Ryu felt a chill. Are you saying the Devourers are coming back? According to these records, they return every 10,000 years, and it's been 10,000 years since the last time. This explained everything about human preparation. The hidden fleets, the planetary weapons, the centuries of secret development. It wasn't just paranoia about alien empires. It was preparation for humanity's greatest enemy. Admiral Song received new orders from Earth. His exploration fleets were to search for any signs of devourer activity. They were also to contact all peaceful alien species and offer them alliance against the coming threat. All ships, he broadcast to his fleet. New mission priority. We're looking for dark ships in the void between stars. Fleet Admiral Kwon Ji-hoon now commanded Earth's home defense, but his job was changing. Instead of just protecting one solar system, he was preparing to defend the entire galaxy. Admiral, his strategic officer said, intelligence reports confirm. If the Devourers are moving this way, how long do we have? Maybe 5 years? Maybe less. Kwon nodded grimly. 5 years to prepare the galaxy for a war that would make the Dominion invasion look like a small skirmish. Captain Zhang Wanho took his stealth ships into the dark space between galaxies. His mission was reconnaissance. Find the Devourers and learn how many there were. What he found was terrifying. The void was full of dark shapes moving toward the galaxy. Ships that were alive, feeding on the energy between stars. There were millions of them. Command, he transmitted back to Earth. Contact confirmed. The enemy is real and they're coming. President, Ryu called another assembly of the Galactic Council. This time the message was different. Representatives of the galaxy, she said. We face a threat that makes our recent conflicts seem small. An enemy approaches that wants to consume our entire
galaxy.
What do you propose? Asked the Andorian delegate. Unity, all species working together, human technology and leadership combined with the resources and knowledge of every world. And if we refuse? Ryu's expression was serious. Then you will face the Devourers alone, and you will lose. The choice was simple. Join humanity's galactic alliance or face extinction. One by one, the alien representatives agreed. Even former Dominion worlds that hated humans chose survival over pride. Dr. On continued studying the ancient records, she learned about weapons that could destroy stars, fleets that could move faster than light, and battles that lasted for centuries. President Ryu, she reported, our ancestors left us more than just warnings. They left us plans. What kind of plans? Weapons designs, battle tactics, star charts showing Devourer weaknesses, everything we need to win. As the galaxy united under human leadership, the truth became clear. The warnings about Terran space weren't threats. They were promises. Humanity had been preparing for this war for 10,000 years, and when the Devourers arrived, they would find the galaxy ready for them. Admiral Song looked out at his fleet as it prepared for the ultimate battle. Human ships flew alongside vessels from hundreds of different species, all united by the need to survive. All ships, he broadcast. This is what we trained for. This is why we prepared. Let the Devourers come. We'll show them that this galaxy belongs to the living. The greatest war in galactic history was about to begin. But this time, humanity wouldn't be fighting alone. They would be leading an entire galaxy against the darkness. And they were ready.